Erev Tov Rabbi Say, this week we are beginning the week of the Midah of Hod, and of course this evening we kick off the week of the Midah of Hod with Pesach Sheni. Tonight is Pesach Sheni, which is why minhag is not to say Tachnun Erev Pesach Sheni as well as tomorrow. What exactly is Pesach Sheni? So Pesach Sheni has become a little bit popular in the last few years. People have started speaking about it a little bit more. It's the Yontif of second chances. Pesach Sheni was instituted in the Midbar when the Jewish people were told that they would need to bring Pesach Sheni. In the Midbar, we spoke about this a little bit on Shabbos HaGadol, whether or not that was a Shas Al-Chak, or it was a unique Hara Shah to bring Korban Pesach in the Midbar. It seems to be that one day in the Medrash is that they only brought it that year, and then they didn't bring it again for the next 39 years until they got to Eretz Yisrael. It seems to be at least the way that Rashi learns, and the way that many of the Midrashim learn, and the way that the Ramban learns as well. But what exactly is this Yontif of Pesach Sheni? So that's an opportunity for those that were Tameh or those that were distant to be able to bring the Korban Pesach together with the rest of the Jewish people. And this now marks 30 days from Pesach Rishon. So what exactly is the value of Pesach Sheni in terms of the midos and the spheres that we've been learning about? So the first thing to note is that the midah of Hod, which we'll be discussing this whole week, is the midah of gratitude. And more than anything else, Pesach Sheni begins with this week begins with gratitude to Hashem for the opportunity to have second chances. That's not something to scoff at, especially in our generation Baruch Hashem, of such a return to Torah and mitzvahs. Many of us have been zeicha to, many of our families have been zeicha to generational Balei Tshuva, the opportunity to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in ways that we might not have had access to or been able to in previous generations. There is a chesed Shebahod, that there is a great kindness that Hashem has displayed to us, and therefore we are grateful that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us this opportunity to be able to learn in ways that we couldn't have learned before, and to be able to daven in ways we couldn't daven before, and to be able to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in ways that might not have been applicable or available to us in previous generations. The Zohar HaKadosh, however, adds that this week of Midas HaHod has a unique job within our Avodas Hashem. It says the Zohar HaKadosh, you found this in Zohar in Chelik Gimel, that for the 30 days following Pesach Rishon, the palace is available for anybody that wants to come and connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to connect to the Shechina HaKadosha. Once 30 days are up, says the Zohar HaKadosh, once 30 days are so once 30 days up, says the Zohar HaKadosh, Man dvar lematronisa yochel lemechami. Anybody that wants to come see the Malka, that wants to come see the Shechina, is able to do so. And then afterwards, Krusa Karis Kol Mandalo Yochel Mechame Matronisa. Then there's an announcement in Shemaim. Anybody that hasn't yet come to reconnect with the Shechina Kedosha, Yesi V'Yachme Ad Loy Yinolun Tari. That you have an extra week to come and be able to connect to the Shechina HaKadosha until the gates are closed. When is this announcement made? The 14th of the second month, meaning tonight. Tonight there is a hachraza, there is an announcement made in Shemaim that you've had 30 days of experiencing Geula from Pesach. If you haven't left Egypt yet, you were supposed to have left. If you still feel you haven't left Egypt yet, so then that's a problem. That's a problem. You were given 30 days to leave Mitzrayim. We're supposed to already have left on Pesach. But if you haven't left Egypt, if there's still a shtickle Mitzrayim that you need to leave, so then be able to get into that world of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whatever that means for you in your Avodas Hashem. So then there's an announcement made tonight, which is Daha mitaman ad shiva yomin tarin psichi. That for the next 7 days, the gates are still open. There's Lahavdil. We're calling about your car's extended warranty, right? This is, it's not spam. The Ramam is calling you, Min HaShamayim, saying, you have an extra week. This is the extra week. Yeah, everything was supposed to have gotten taken care of already, but if you haven't yet, if there's still a shtickle Mitzrayim, so now you have a week of second chances. Says the Zohar, Mikan v'hala yin olun tari. But thereafter, if we don't take opportunities now, we don't take advantage of this for the next 7 days, so then the gates are closed. Ve'alda Pesach Sheni. And that is the side of Pesach Sheni. Meaning Pesach Sheni is the second opportunity to leave Egypt. It's not just a second opportunity for people that were tameh, or people that were b'derech rechaka, that are distant or that are impure. It means people that were distant from whatever we were supposed to do on Pesach Rishon, and people that were impure, people that are tameh. We came in contact with things that we shouldn't come in contact with, and we are living in a world we shouldn't live in. So now's an opportunity to say, I'm done with all of that. There's a unique opportunity for tshuva now, and the tshuva that comes now is a different kind of tshuva. Because the tshuva that happens now, the leaving Mitzrayim now, comes b'midas ha'hod, which means from a place of gratitude, a place of vulnerability, a place of humility. But as we've spoken about before, a place of defeat. But it's not a defeat of weakness. Midas ha'hod, in its deepest sense, is that very deep and profound midah of reliance and vulnerability that a child has to their parents. Meaning, a kid doesn't think that they're a loser when they ask their parents for something. The kid doesn't feel incapable and inadequate because they ask their parents to give them something to eat, because they ask their parents to tuck them into bed at night. The kid doesn't feel like there's something wrong with me because I am the recipient of the chesed of my parents. And understanding that midah is called chesed Shebahod. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu does immense chesed for us, and we are grateful for it because we can't do it without him. We need HaKadosh Baruch Hu for that. And that midah all by itself, just that experience of knowing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has got our backs, that he's got this covered, that he loves us, that he's taking care of us, that's called chesed Shebahod. And that's in the world of Ben Adam le Makam. What about in the world of Ben Adam L'Chavera? So we'll say this just very, very briefly. In the world of Ben Adam L'Chavera, is that there is an avoda of not just that we are echoing gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but that we are echoing gratitude to each other. And sometimes there's a Yetzer Hara that we have that we, in order for somebody to appreciate us, sometimes this happens as kids get older, parents feel like maybe I should withhold something from you, and that way you'll know to be grateful, right? Sometimes there's this feeling of like, you take everything that I do for granted, and in order for me to achieve the gratitude that I want, I'm gonna, tighten the faucet. I'm gonna say no. Not because I want to say no, I want to say yes, but I'm gonna say no so that you'll have gratitude. So sometimes that's important for chinuch, but sometimes that's a big Yetzer Hara, especially when it comes to our relationship with our spouse, often with the relationship with our children, definitely the relationship with our parents, and al-achas kama v'kama with our rabbeim, with our friends, and with our colleagues. Chesed Shebahod means that if you want people to experience the midah of hod, to be able to appreciate you, and for you to appreciate them, act with chesed. Act with an openness, with a love, and with kindness, and with expressiveness, and give things to people with an open hand and an open heart. To be able to say, I'm giving to you. And that is marbe the hod. That's meaning at some point in time, with enough chesed, without any nonsense, without any ego, with a tremendous amount of chesed, gratitude is encouraged. And that goes two ways. Is that if you feel that in your life somebody is giving you a lot, say thank you to them. That's also enormous. That's a huge midah. If there's somebody in your life that's given you a lot and you haven't said thank you to them recently, call them up tonight, tomorrow, and just say thank you. I just want to say thank you. Right? I'll call Chesed Shasisa Imadi for all of the good things. If you don't, I want to say thank you. Could be a parent, a colleague, a friend, a relative, a child, a neighbor. Just call somebody up and be like, hey, thank you. I want you to know, I recognize the chesed that you've done for me, and I want to say thank you. That's marbe the hod through the chesed, meaning through recognizing chesed, you have an opportunity to increase hod in the world. And Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, there is a lot more to speak about, but to be continued.